But overall, the movie's ridiculous. Like, you got to know going in what you're getting into.
For a movie to be worse, the worst movie you've ever seen, that's pretty bad. And on top of that, worse than the Joker 2.
I could give a damn about anything going on in this movie because it was absolutely trash.
Blake Lively just completely freaked out after Another Simple Favor got quietly pulled from Amazon. And honestly, it's the perfect proof of how badly she's torched her own career. But what's worse? She didn't go down alone. Poor Anna Kendrick got dragged with her. Why? Just for showing up next to Blake's chaos.
Then do not watch this movie. Do not watch the sequel. It offered nothing new, nothing of substance, nothing noteworthy.
You know what's hilarious? The fact that Another Simple Favor even exists. Because what landed on Amazon Prime on May 1st, 2024? It was not a sequel. It was a cinematic car crash with a $40 hat budget and an ego the size of Blake Lively's delusion.
I am reeling and will be reeling until the day that I die. I'm talking psycho triplets. I'm talking incest.
Let's just start with the release. Straight to streaming. Not a single theater dared to touch it. That's not just a red flag. That's a red billboard. You know a studio has zero faith in a movie when they skip the popcorn-scented rollout and just toss it onto Prime like yesterday's leftovers. And considering how the original A Simple Favor brought in a sweet $97.6 million globally on a modest $20 million budget, you'd think they'd try. But nope, Amazon practically hid it behind 3 layers of carousel scrolls like, shh, maybe if no one sees it, no one can scream. Everyone screamed.
What the I wish I could tell you guys what I just watched. But I don't know. It was bad. Like, it was terrible.
This sequel turned the original's mystery drama charm into a bizarre clown show. And what's worse, even Kendrick fans, like the ride or die ones, are done. People who once cheered for Anna's awkward charm have officially stepped back like, nah girl, not if you're gonna show up with Blake again. And honestly, fair. Let's get into the meat of this rotting sandwich. The plot. Oh my god. Where do I even begin? Stephanie, yes, Anna Kendrick's character, has somehow become a true crime podcast queen. Because of course she has. But before you can even process that, boom, we're on the island of Capri. Not for a spa day, not for some Italian wine tasting, but for a wedding that turns into a death trap. Because why not? Nothing screams mystery thriller like chaotic destination weddings and 3 different Blake Lively's making out with themselves. You heard that right. Triple identities, fake suicides, and psychotic triplets. It's like someone watched The Parent Trap on acid and said, yeah, let's crank this into a psychological thriller. And let's be real, this isn't even suspenseful. It's comedy. Not intentional comedy, though. More like, what the hell am I watching kind of comedy. Even Andy Signore, who somehow sat through this mess without gouging his eyes out, said the second half completely lost me and was too crazy to take seriously. And Andy's the kind of guy who wants to give films the benefit of the doubt.
Child, when I tell you, I had no idea how bad this would be. I mean, no idea. Wait until I show you some of this.
Every twist in this movie feels like it was written by a wine mom who thinks plot holes are chic. There's no logic, no buildup, no payoff, just chaos. Symbolism, forced, dialogue, scripted by someone's ChatGPT on low battery. Even the most forgiving fans of the genre were left asking, am I being punked? Is this a parody? Because that's what it felt like. A parody. Of itself.
That was like a cartoon. It was like a lot of like frizzy Blake Lively hair, but twice. There's twice the Blake Lively in it. I'll leave it at that. I mean, I'm not gonna leave it at that because here's the other weird, gross thing. There was like very violent, incestual stuff in it.
And let's just rip the Band-Aid off now. Blake Lively. This woman? I don't know who told her she was ready for her villain era, but they need to be sued. She plays Emily as this over-the-top sociopathic diva with the emotional range of a brick wall and the wardrobe of a deranged cruise ship heiress. No arc, no nuance, no growth, just hats, drama, and whatever the hell that I did it for you monologue was.
That was like glazed over and like kind of a haha, like made a joke of. I'm so grossed out right now. The writing was terrible. Like Alex Newell and Andrew Rennell, like they deserve better.
I've seen TikTokers with ring lights and 0 acting classes deliver more emotion than whatever Blake was trying to pass off here. She was described as deadpan, flat, and horrible, and that's being polite. Because honestly, watching her try to act like she had depth was like watching a mannequin do Shakespeare. Painful, unbearable, embarrassing.
Anna Kendrick, what are you guys doing? I don't know if I've ever seen a movie that bad, and I watched the Joker sequel. This is not me getting on the Blake Lively like hate train or anything like that. Like, honestly and truly, that was really fucking bad.
You know it's bad when even Andy Signor, who literally defended watching this thing because he didn't pay for it, starts asking if Blake was trolling us. Because there were moments where it didn't even feel like she was acting. It felt like she was being her real-life self. The smugness, the narcissism, the smug narcissism, all wrapped up in a designer trench coat and forced into another fake plot twist. And while Blake is out here playing evil twin, evil triplet, evil fashion blogger, or whatever the hell she was going for, Anna Kendrick is just standing there like she wandered onto the wrong set and couldn't find the exit. You can see it in her eyes. The regret, the betrayal, the sheer exhaustion of being dragged down by someone who clearly believes chaotic energy is a personality trait.
But none of this was necessary. This is a sequel that I had been looking forward to since it was announced. So to watch it straight to streaming, I don't know why it had 3 premieres, heavily disappointed.
And let me say this loud and clear. Anna Kendrick did not deserve this. This movie is a cinematic obituary for her career. She gave us charm in the first film. She gave us quirk, innocence, mystery, and now she's being forced to act opposite Blake Lively in a film where the only suspense is whether or not she'll survive the script. Even Andy Signor, a longtime Kendrick fan, said it himself. This was the first film of hers he genuinely did not like. And not because of her, because of the script, because of the mess, because of Blake.
Anna Kendrick's character, she does, become a true crime star after the success of the first movies, the ending. But she's stopped posting. She's struggling with a case that she wonders, did she do the right thing?
What once was fun, cheeky chemistry between two opposites is now just a hostage situation. Kendrick's character is reduced to a neurotic mess who gets dragged around by plot devices, and Blake's endless supply of unearned smugness. The writing gives her nothing. 0 agency. Just reaction shots and trauma dump monologues.
Just about anything Anna Kendrick is in, she's wickedly talented, attractive AF, awesome, and just brings this weird, geeky, nerdy charm to everything she does, and I just absolutely fall for it every time. I absolutely adore this girl.
So yeah, Blake Lively didn't just ruin a sequel. She hijacked it, lit it on fire, and tried to convince us it was high art. This wasn't a comeback. This was career suicide. Only she doesn't know she's the one holding the knife. She played herself, literally and figuratively. And the worst part? She thinks she ate. But no, Blake, you didn't. You served nothing but delusion. And we're all still trying to recover from the indigestion. Stephanie was a character that stuck. People loved her. Hell, Anna Kendrick made neurotic parenting cool. And now she's been reduced to reacting like a stunned fish to Blake Lively's Pinterest board of performance. Let's not sugarcoat it. This sequel dragged Kendrick through the mud. She wasn't just underused, she was misused. The script took her charm and set it on fire. Whatever dynamic she once had with Blake is completely gone.
And Blake's character really is sort of clearly trouble. We know that going in.
Their chemistry now feels like 2 co-workers forced to take a team-building retreat. It's awkward, it's stiff, and it's giving, I'll smile through this because my contract says I have to. After the first act, Kendrick's character does what exactly? Stands around, looks confused, maybe rolls her eyes once, and if you've seen Murder Mystery 2, you know that's not a compliment. It's a cry for help. Another viewer renamed the film An Absolute Mistake, which honestly should have been the title. Roll the credits right there. Because this wasn't a continuation of a story. This was a masterclass in how to destroy goodwill, talent, and basic narrative structure in under 2 hours. One critic straight up said the film undoes everything good from the original. It took a story people genuinely enjoyed and turned it into an unwatchable mess of recycled ideas, forced conflict, and Blake Lively hamming it up like she was auditioning for Drag Race Sociopath Edition.
She's lucky this is on Prime, because I do think it'll be enough of a hit for Amazon. There's too much curiosity factor here to watch Blake Lively be a sociopath.
Speaking of Blake, because how could we not, we have to talk about that scene. Yes, the infamous Blake kisses her own triplet scene. You read that right. She kisses herself, literally, as part of the story. It's not clever, it's not edgy, it's not deep, it's just gross and confusing and unnecessary. It's the kind of scene that makes you pause and say, okay, wait, am I hallucinating? No, you're not. It's real. Blake Lively got paid to make out with herself in a sequence that felt less like cinema and more like a psychological jump scare.
This time around, it does not feel like that. It just feels like a cheap carbon copy of what we got from the first movie, which, again, you didn't have to touch it. You didn't have to make this. Why is this? Why does this exist?
And let's be clear, this wasn't character development. This was a cry for help. Watching it was like opening a cursed file on your laptop. It just shouldn't exist. One reviewer called it a psychological threat. And honestly, I second that. There's something so deeply unsettling about the incest vibes in this movie. And if that sentence makes you uncomfortable, good. That's the point. Because apparently, Blake and the writers thought the best way to shake things up was to double down on the creepiest subplot from the first movie. Remember the weird undertone of brother-sister vibes from the original? Yeah, well, in this one, they said, let's turn it up to 11. Now we've got triplets. Grotesque family dynamics. And Blake Lively treating it all like it's a Tuesday on Gossip Girl. Multiple reviewers said it felt like game night meets a therapy session gone wrong. Which is oddly accurate. It's chaotic. It's unhinged. It's a train wreck with expensive lighting. And let's not forget Paul Feig in this mess. The man who gave us Bridesmaids and The Heat is now officially on watch. Because whatever's happening here, it's weird, it's specific, and it feels like a fetish-level obsession with incest-adjacent plot lines. Someone on that creative team needs to log off the internet and take a walk, touch grass, anything but write scenes like this again. So to summarize this act of psychological warfare, Anna Kendrick was dragged into a disaster she didn't deserve. The audience saw it, roasted it, and posted the receipts. And Blake Lively kissed her own clone while the world watched in horror. Every scene, every line, every disturbing twist screamed try hard. And what did we get? A sequel so bad, people are retroactively questioning whether the first one was even good. That's what Blake Lively did. She didn't just ruin a movie. She rewrote the definition of how did this get made? What did you think of this train wreck? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to like, sub, and stay tuned for more brutal breakdowns.